Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here, and up to this point you've done a lot to sort our evidence cards based on what evidence has reliable sources or not. You sorted cards based on which of our claims that they supported, and now it's time to create a scientific argument for whether or not our principal should purchase our Ed-You-Swivel chairs. So we know that whenever we create a scientific argument, we start with a question, ours being, should our principal purchase the Ed-You-Swivel chair? And part of answering this question begins with us looking at which claim could offer that recommendation to our principal. So whether or not the Ed-You-Swivel chair does or does not capture enough energy for our Chromebooks is going to allow our principal to decide, do I purchase the Ed-You-Swivel chair or not? Now, in order to decide whether or not it does or does not capture enough energy, you're going to need to look at our evidence cards and decide which ones have not only the most reliable evidence and sources supporting it, but how it then connects through our key concepts and reasoning to support that claim. And this is where we're going to be using our reasoning tool to help construct this argument, using those evidence cards, using some of our key concepts from the past to decide whether or not it will or will not capture enough energy for our Chromebook and whether our principal should purchase it. So I'm going to be breaking down how to use the evidence from the cards in our reasoning tool, okay, in the next task. I'm also going to be showing you how to use our key concepts to connect the evidence to the claim and how we construct our scientific argument similar to how we've done in the past. So in task number 10, you'll notice that we have our evidence, our reasoning tool, here, with our evidence in green, our key concept in orange, our reasoning in red, and our claims in purple. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to decide which of our claims did you feel was best supported by reliable sources and evidence. Claim 1, it will, and you'll drag and drop it into claim 1 there, okay? Or claim 2, it does not capture enough energy. So this will be your recommendation for our principal. Next, you're going to be dragging in here the most reliable, 3 pieces of the most reliable evidence to support your claim. So for example, if you think evidence A best supports claim 1, for example, then you'll obviously put evidence card A. If you thought evidence card F and then evidence card H, if those were the most reliable sources of evidence to support that claim, again, you'll put that in the evidence card or evidence section. Next, you're going to need to connect the key concept to the evidence and to the claim. You'll start off by talking about our key concept. So you'll start by saying, according to the key concept, and you're going to quote the key concept, okay? So here we're going to quote key concept, okay? Now, thank you, Regan, for spelling things correctly. Quote the key concept. That's what we have in orange. From here, you're going to need to connect that key concept to the evidence, okay? So we're going to need to connect to evidence. And that's where you show how energy can be transferred from one object to the other or converted, because that's what essentially our chair is going to be doing in order to capture enough energy, transferring and converting. So this is where, again, we will connect to our evidence. And then last but not least, you're going to talk about or connect it to the claim. Talk about how this is evidence or this shows claim 1 for it capturing enough energy or not capturing enough energy. Okay, so you'll do this for each of your 3 pieces of evidence, reasoning, connecting it to our key concept and our claim. Now, if you're somebody looking at this and you're like, I know how to do this, we've done this a bunch of times, I feel confident in this, great. If you're someone who's like, I'd like a little help or need some of the cards to go back to, here in our help link section, if you click on the first need help link, it'll give you examples on how to write different portions of the reasoning section so you have a good idea of how to create a good scientific argument. If you need to refer back to the evidence card so you know which one was about what, you can obviously click here so you know that G is about this or D is about that, and so on. So go ahead and take a second. Do you feel like you understand how to use the evidence cards in the reasoning tool? Do you understand how to use the key concepts to connect the evidence to the claim? If you have questions, reach out. Otherwise, good luck.